completing every chapter, I'm going to your quizzes, and then
Okay.
I am giving the answer, and then I'm checking that how much is correct. And in every quiz it is 70 to 80% I'm getting correct. And whenever there is a wrong answer, I write it down in my note that this is the concept which I'm forgetting.
And then when you went on the day of the exam, you started solving. So what happened in that first half an hour? And out of that 80 questions, from your experience, how many questions were very easy or straightforward? How many questions were medium difficult? And how many questions were really tough? And how many questions do you flagged on the day of the exam?
10 question.
So you wanted to come back and review
Yes,
those 10.
because in some of the question I found that, oh, I've selected a wrong.
And now the results are out, you have cleared the exam. So if I ask you, if a student who is preparing for SCR, he wants to come and ask you for 3 tips on how to prepare for the exam, what would be that? Hello friends, hi, this is Ganesh Nayak. I help finance professionals and students to excel in their career, and I also help students preparing for various competitive exams. And we have with us one of our students who's been able to clear the SCR exam, and he's going to be talking about his journey of preparing for the exam, the challenges he faced, and how he planned and conquered the exam. So we have with us Debojyoti. Debojyoti, thank you very much for joining in. And for the benefit of the audience, if you could tell us that before starting SCR, what was your profile?
So before SCR, my profile is into wholesale compliances
Okay.
and also into PSL, private sector lending. So for operating in India, RBI asked banks to meet 40% of 40% of their NBC, or to deploy 40% of NBC into priority sector lending.
Okay.
So I thought that priority sector lending means agriculture, MSME, then renewable energy has some positive correlation, if not close to one. It has a positive correlation with
Okay.
something called sustainable climate risk, because it will help me to evaluate how it will affect the bottom line.
Okay. So that was your role before you started preparation for
This was
SCR.
my inspiration to go for the SCR, because I'm
Okay.
already a FRM. So
Okay.
along with the FRM, I always thought when I'm studying FRM, especially the level 2, that how the climate risk will impact the credit risk. At least on the FRM side, I was thinking that it will only impact the credit risk or the liquidity risk. But
Okay.
after studying SCR, I understand that it will impact other risk also, like
Okay.
market risk, um, and especially market risk. There are, and then the credit risk. It will have an impact, but it will have an indirect impact into all the risk,
Okay.
even the operational risk.
Okay. So when did you register for the SCR exam?
I registered in the month of January to February. Means I will always go for the early bird so that I can save some dollar.
Okay. So January, before January end, you registered for the April 2024 exam.
Yes.
And did you started immediately preparing?
I started after I have a discussion with you. I have a call to you in the month of January,
Mhm.
and I given you my details that I am working in a bank where this is my work schedule, and all that is 4 months will be enough for SCR or not.
Mm.
And you've given me a go ahead that yes, if you study with dedication, if you study methodically as per your instruction, it is possible to crack SCR.
Okay. Okay. And after that, how much time on a daily basis you were giving in the month of Feb and March?
My target is to give my initial target is to complete that SCR first reading in the month of January only, because from my
Okay.
FRM days I understand that if you study GARP for one reading you will not understand anything, but it is a must go, so that after second to third level of reading you can understand, okay, these are the chapters, these are
Okay.
the things,
Okay.
and then you can understand that how it will interact. Because in
Okay.
either in FRM or in SCR, guard check two things:
Mm.
whether you can correlate. Because in
Okay.
every question, except one or two in both the level of GAR and in SCR also, I understand that there is two concept in one question.
Okay.
In every
Okay.
question, there will be two concept, and in one or two question that will not be enough for passing. You will get a straight, but that is very rare.
Okay. So, but when you read for the first time, so you only read through the GARP material, just went and read the book, is it?
I study from the GARP material, and I since I register less, So I consider writing also, and
Okay.
I write by preparing charts, and then after reading for the first time, I again go for the second time. But in the second time, what I used to do, I used to practice the chapter wise. I used to give the chapter wise mocks also, which in your portal there is chapter wise mock,
Right.
which helps me a lot because it helps me to get my confidence in shape. Because what happened is after second to third level of reading, it happened that you know everything. Or okay, I know, I understand,
You get the confidence.
I get the confidence, but you need to check also that
Okay.
look, boss, you have a confidence, but there are many questions which I am not able to answer. So what I will do, I write even after one level of marks, I understand that these are the topics which I am not able to understand. So I used to write, or I used to highlight that in my notes,
Okay.
or I used to check whether I missed that in preparing my note. Or
Okay.
it is,
But,
it is
but
there in the book.
there
Yes,
were four questions, four quizzes for each chapter.
yes.
So how did you went? I mean, you read first chapter, you solved the first quiz. On second quiz, third quiz, you solved all the quizzes in one go.
No, completing every chapter, I'm going to your quizzes, and then
Okay.
I'm giving the answer, and then I'm checking that how much is correct. And in every quiz, it is 70 to 80% I'm getting correct, and at least 60 to 66 to 70%. And whenever there is a wrong answer, I write it down in my note that this is the concept which I'm forgetting, so that I give a special focus into that. So after, so there are four mocks for every chapter.
Right.
So I have given a 5 to 6 level of reading. So I've completed that four mocks also,
Okay.
and then in the exam level I have given the two guard mocks.
Okay. So, so what I understood is basically you read the chapter once, you did the first quiz, you did it for all the chapters, or else you just completed one chapter again and again reading.
So after first level of reading,
Achha.
I'm reading the chapter and then I'm giving one quiz. For example,
Okay.
chapter one quiz, chapter two reading, and then
One
second,
quiz.
so
Okay.
that it is in balance, so that I do not feel underconfidence also
Okay, got it. And then you completed all the four quizzes for all the eight chapters.
for all the 8 chapters.
Okay. And when were you able to complete all of this?
March end.
Okay.
March in five times reading
And
and all the mocks.
all five times GAR book reading and also all the chapter wise questions.
After completing one or two level of reading, I'm just following my notes also. So
Hmm.
whether you are giving FRM, or whether I'm giving SCR, or any level, any type of competitive exam, I feel that writing a note is very much important because it helps me to give a quick revision,
Okay.
because it is my word, my writing. I understand the concept and I'm writing it down, so it helps me to register it quickly.
Okay. So it was kind of a short summary of the chapter.
Short summary of the chapter, or at
Okay.
least 3 to 4 pages are gone in every
Okay.
chapter, so
Okay.
I'm saving that time.
Okay. So now when you're doing the final revisions, you're just reading those
Yes,
three, 4 pages and
otherwise 5 time reading, yeah, with a job is not possible.
but how much time you were giving on daily basis?
In the morning 2.5 hours, 2 hours,
Okay.
and in weekends, at least on a Sunday, 4 to 5 hours.
Okay. Okay. So 2.5 hour daily.
Because one thing, even in my, when I'm giving my FRM also, I understand that if you are giving this kind of expensive, or
Hmm.
where you have to pay in USD, you should pass. Whether you are giving in 1 year or 6 months, that is irrelevant. You give it, you pass
You
it,
have to
because we should
pass.
not read it again.
Right.
That
Right.
is the second level of thought that we should do.
Okay, wonderful. And then when you went for the mock papers, so there were GAP sample paper and also my mock paper. So
Yes.
how did you solve all of them or did you get
I only solved that guard mocks,
both
because
of them?
both of them,
Okay.
2000, as you advised, 2023 and 2024.
And what was the score that you were getting in those mocks?
In GAR, first time it is 60-62.
Okay.
First time 2023, and in 2024 actually almost similar. So I
Okay.
get 77, 74
Out of 80.
out of 80, 70
Okay. Okay. For GAP sample paper.
GAR
Second,
paper.
okay, that was a 2024 mock. GAP.
Yes,
Okay.
because 2023 and 2024 many questions are similar, so it boosts my confidence. Okay,
But on an average, 60 was something which
65,
you
66. Huh?
okay. Okay. And then when you went on the day of the exam. You started solving. So what happened in that first half an hour?
In any guard related, I think the exam is bit difficult than the mocks that the
Hmm.
guard provided,
Right.
at least in the SCR. Uh, but since I've already passed FRM level 1 and level 2, until today, level 2 was my difficult exam.
Mhm.
Difficult study, difficult exam. So the experience, I can able to leverage that level 2 experience in my SCR also. I understand that if it is a tough, it is like a test match. So if it is a very nice ball, at least there is no negative mark. Don't worry, there is a 25% probability
Hmm.
because there is four option is
Options.
there.
Yes.
So there is a 25% probability that it will go right. So we don't need to panic. Just click, just mark it so that at the end you can come in and can able to check it. But always give a shot so that in any case, if you miss to tick that answer
Hmm.
in search of a correct answer, then that 25% probability will also gone. So this
Okay.
kind of mistake I have done in FRM level 1, so which I never repeat in my level 2 and in also SCR.
Okay. Okay. But like you said, the exam was slightly tougher than the GAR paper.
Slightly tougher because in every question I found two concepts,
Okay.
and in one or two, in four, 3 to 4 question is from the online reading also.
The required reading.
Yes, which you help me, especially from the chapter 4 and chapter 6, which you help me
We
that you should
identified.
read.
Ha
You
ha.
should read.
Yes, I highlighted that. And there were few calculation based questions also which
Yes,
we
yes, there
talked
are two
about.
to three numericals also, and one numerical is from that online reading.
Okay, okay. But apart from the chapter 4 and chapter 6 online reading, do you read any other reading?
No, I don't
There's
keep the
only
time
two.
because I think that better to revise the chapter. Go for the chapter 4 and 6. Go
Hmm.
for the important topics which you have highlighted.
Hmm.
You have highlighted quick ratio. It come though my background is MBA finance, become honors, so I know what is quick asset, what do you want, quick
Got it.
ratio and all that. But at the end, that after 6 to 7 years, if I get a revision of the formula, it helps.
Right. And so, do you find a lot of the important concepts that we highlighted? Did you found questions connected to those concepts also in the exam?
If some of the case study come.
And when you were solving, okay, so were you able to solve everything in that 3 hours time frame, 80
Yes,
questions?
yes, I solved.
And in the mocks, when you were solving, how much time you were getting?
Same. I was seeing whatever I understand from guard that they give you ample kind of time if you plan it strategically. Like I always plan that there is 80 question. For
Hmm.
example, in level 2, FRM level 2, there is 80 question, and 80 question 4 hours. It's 4 into 60, 240.
Hmm.
So in every question, how much time I can afford,
Hmm.
and if I afford and if I cross that limit, so I have to save. So I distribute my any garb exam into 3 to 4 hours depending on the time they give,
Hmm.
and I analyze that okay, in 1 hour I have solved 60 questions, in 2 hours I have solved
20 questions or
20
15
questions.
questions. Okay.
In that way, and always my strategy in the last 1 hour, I should keep minimum because
Okay.
then some amount of panic button in the last 5 minutes, 6 minutes. If some important question there can be some panic button. So first, should
Okay.
quickly solve it.
And out of that 80 questions, from your experience, how many questions were very easy or straightforward? How many questions were medium difficult? And how many questions were really tough?
4 to 5 straightforward.
Okay.
All have a, they're not tough, but actually it tests two concept. Around 60 to 70% give a two concept,
But they were medium level difficulty.
medium level difficult, and again 10% or 20%, 10%, 20% is too tough. So
Okay.
I may not able to. So 70% is a medium level, 15% simple, 15% tough.
So that 70%, if you have gone through the GARP textbook properly, you would be able to eliminate the option and you'll be able to choose properly.
At least 2 to 3 readings from my IQ level.
Okay.
At least 2 to 3 level
Two
of
to three
reading.
ratings. And how many questions did you flagged on the day of the exam?
10
Because
question.
so you wanted to come back and review those
Yes,
10
because
questions.
in some of the question I found that I've selected a wrong uh, option.
Okay, okay. But apart from that, 90 questions, when you read, you eliminated the option, you were able to. confidently say that this could be the answer?
This could be the answer because I have done a 6 to 7 times of reading because of my short notes.
That's a very
Short notes
good
is very
strategy.
important.
So, okay, and so 10 questions you marked and you changed the answer also at the end. Now, when you came out of the exam, what was the confidence level?
I called you immediately and I told you that it is not that much easy. It is not level one. It is not level two also. It is in mid.
Hmm.
So there are concepts, and I also say thank you to you for the online reading, especially for the 4 and 6, because again, so much of online reading, and you given a crisp online reading. And these
The
are the
PPTs.
summarized online reading that also helped me a lot because again, going for the 120, 130 page, whatever the page of online actual online reading is a very difficult thing.
Okay.
So I gone for your brief notes because at the end of the day I do not get the time also to again prepare another series of notes.
Right.
So
Right.
that helped me a lot. And in the exam day, if you are getting 3 to 4 questions from that online, from that brief summary notes, it means a lot. And by only reading 2 chapters, 4 and 6, if I getting 4 questions, then there is a good ROI.
Okay. Perfect. And when you came out of the exam, did you thought that okay, I'll get 45 correct, I'll get out of 80, 60 correct, 50? Any number was there in your mind?
55
Okay. Okay. And
minimum.
now the results are out. You have cleared the exam. So if I ask you, if a student who is preparing for SCR, he wants to come and ask you for 3 tips on how to prepare for the exam, what would be that?
Start early as possible.
Hmm.
Understand that whether you are working or a student. If you are a working, then the strategy is different. If you are a student, I will not say the strategy will be lesser than a working profession, but the strategy will be different because at the end of the day you are studying only.
Right.
So there is the what I say, it is a straight line.
Hmm.
There will be much less curves. What will
Okay.
happen when you are working? Because any day the pressure can be huge, and so you have to keep a good amount of provision of time.
Okay.
So what a working professional should keep in mind. So if the GARP says that there is 100 hours of study is required, go for a 200 hour. So there is a provision, good amount of provision coverage ratio at least 100%. There should be a provision coverage ratio of 100%.
Okay. Okay. And one thing which I forgot to ask you. So when you're preparing for this exam, you said 2 hours early morning,
Two
right?
hours early morning.
So you used to start your job at 9 o'clock
9:30.
and used to come back from office.
There is no time. Means
Okay.
I ideally come at 10 p.m. 9:30 to
Okay.
10. So since my priority is clear, so when I'm giving exam, my priority is exam and to save my job.
Okay. Okay.
So I
Okay.
go for the study, have a clear amount, have a clear priority set. Now, I, my mind is fresh. I have a good sleep. My mind is fresh. Go for a study.
Hmm.
Have 2 hours of study. Now, if you come home and can able to study, that is a bonus.
Okay. But this is a very good strategy because similar to you, people who are preparing for FRM or any other exam, like you said, 10 to 10, almost 10 to 10. It's 12 hours of proper work, or you're outside your home. And then you get to come back and prepare. So having your preparation done early morning, you're free. And
Free.
you know that, okay, now I have
I've
to,
done my job, one job done, tick. Another
yes,
job.
right. But really good. I mean, thank you very much, Debojyoti, for sharing your journey because a lot of students who are now going to go for the future exams for SCR, they would get a good idea about how to prepare along with their jobs. So, somebody who has gone through this path, somebody who has cleared this exam along with that 12-hour job, then if you can do it, they can also do it, right? So, thank you very much for sharing your journey. This interview is going to be really motivating for them to appear for the exam in the future.